Hi, and welcome to another Hero Arts video. It's Sherry Carroll here to show you making a scene with silhouette die cuts. The card I've created today uses the Silhouette Hero Arts clouds, and I also created a window to set the scene. To start off, I've cut my cardstock and I created a window pane by creating first a rectangle and then smaller rectangles. Then I copied and then pasted again, and then cut that out on mocha paper. For my clouds, I used basic gray out of print paper, which is a nice blue scene and it has nice texture look to it, and I created it for a card size 5.5 by 4.25. So with the individual clouds cut up, what's really kind of fun is that you have leftover clouds that you can use for another card. For the next step of my card, I have used my out-of-print paper and my large butterfly, and I've white embossed the butterfly on a really nice pink paper. Then I also stamped it with white StazOn onto acetate. And I cut both pieces out and I'll apply them to my card. Before I put everything together, I want to stamp my window pane, and I'm using latte ink and my wood grain background, and I'll just ink up my stamp. The window pane will fit just perfectly onto the full-size stamp, so I'll make sure that I get the whole stamp inked up well. And now I'll lay this face down onto the stamp and line it up. I like to use the bottom first and line it up. Now I want to put a piece of paper on top so that I don't get my fingers inky, since the window pane area is so small. So I can just set a piece of paper down, and now I can go ahead and rub my fingers over the paper to get a really good impression. And once you feel like you've gotten all the areas done, I'm going to make sure that bottom's done. Just pick up the paper. You can see the window part on the paper, and just peel the window pane off from the stamp. Next, I'll be constructing the card kind of backwards. So I'm starting with the window pane, and I'll be adding my hill first. So I'm just adding some adhesive to the back of the window. And now I'll just lay my hill down. And now I can just trim off the sides. What I'm doing is I'm building this up so that I can lift the entire window pane up with foam squares when I'm all done. So now I will add more adhesive so I can add my clouds. I'm just adding the adhesive to strategic areas on the window pane, so more like the corners and the crossbars. Okay, so once I have that with adhesive, now I can lay my clouds down. So just kind of line them up from the top. And I'll press these in place. Once I have that pressed down, I can turn this over, and now you can kind of see how this is starting to look. And now I'll just trim off the excess with my scissors off the sides. The next step is to add some foam squares to the back of the clouds, and again I'm just placing these in strategic areas, pretty much in the same areas where I applied my adhesive. I've peeled the adhesive backing off, and now I'm ready to place this on my card, and I'm just using a standard white note card. I'm just lining it up from the fold of the card first, and once I have that in place, I'll go ahead and just press everything down. So now I have nice 3D window pane. At this point I can start adding my butterflies, and so first I'll affix my butterfly that I've embossed, and I'll just add adhesive to the whole back of this, and I'll just place it onto the card and press. And now I'll add my acetate butterfly, but before I do that I want to put my thumbnail and give it a little fold just by pressing against my thumbnail, and it gives it a little fold to where it'll sit up in a dimensional way. So for this I just want to add adhesive to the body of the butterfly, and so I add my adhesive and then I roll my fingers, in case it got too wide, I roll the adhesive towards the center. And now I can just press this in place. And now you can see the dimension that the butterfly has from the side. So now I have a little strip that I've stamped "Thank You," and I will add it to my card. To finish my card off, I added some gemstones to the body of the butterfly, and I trimmed little V's out of the greeting and added some pearls. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and please visit us at www.heroarts.com for more inspiration and ideas.